Everyone is gone. I still can't believe it is happening. This is my second day on vacation. My wife and kids are gone. There is no one else here at the resort. I'm going to post this here and hope someone can help me understand what is going on. We arrived in Florida yesterday and everything was great. It was 80 degrees, a big difference from the rain and 30-degree temperature we left behind in Michigan that morning. Our room was all ready when we got there, which was great. We went into our room to check it out, and they had given us a handicapped accessible room. We didn't need it, but that must have been what was available. It was 2 floors with the bedrooms upstairs and a nice big kitchen and living room area on the main floor. When we dropped off our luggage in the room, my 2 daughters ran around to explore it.
"Dad,"
My 10-year-old shouted.
"there's an elevator in here."
My 8-year-old ran over to her, and they were both laughing and jumping up and down. "This is so cool," she said. I went in there with them, and we rode it up to the 2nd floor. My wife was up there cleaning the surfaces and handles. I knew that the elevator was going to get a lot of use from them, and likely me too. After a couple of rides in the elevator, we changed into our bathing suits and headed down to the lazy river. This was my favorite place to stay on vacation. It never seemed too busy, the water was warm, and there were so many activities for the kids. After a great start to our vacation, we headed to our room and crashed in bed. The next morning, I was the first awake. I checked on everyone else, and since they were still sleeping, I quietly went down the stairs and outside. It was peaceful outside, and I only saw a few people on my walk to the marketplace for breakfast sandwiches and coffee. When I got back to our room, I could hear that everyone was awake, so I took the elevator up. It made a loud ding when it reached the 2nd floor, and the doors opened up to silence. There was a small hallway where the elevator was, and a bedroom on each side of it. "I've got breakfast," I said. When there was no response, and still only silence, I figured they were hiding from me. I looked in each room and the bathrooms, but no one was there. I thought they must have gone down the stairs when I was coming up, so I went down and looked in the kitchen and living area. The rafts and bags we always took to the pool were still there, as well as my wife's sunglasses. "Hello?" I called out to still no response. I pushed the elevator button and thought maybe they were hiding in there, but the empty car proved me wrong. I looked on the patio and then went outside. The sun was about 45 degrees up in the sky, and there was no breeze, making it feel warmer than the 60-degree temperature of the morning. I walked down the path by the lake towards the pool, looked out at the golf course along the way. There was no one hiding that I could see, but only a couple of the holes were visible. The green light flashed when I scanned my bracelet to the sensor on the gate. I went into the pool area, which was usually pretty quiet at this time in the morning. People would soon slowly trickle in again and begin saving chairs in a little while. At least, on a normal day they would. I walked around looking for my family and didn't see any chairs with folded towels on them. None of the cabanas were taken yet, so I grabbed a few towels and put them in our usual spot for when I could finally find them. No one else was around the pool. I knew they had to be somewhere nearby, so I went back to the cabana, sat in the lounge chair, and texted my wife to let her know where I was. The peacefulness of the morning was calming, even though I was getting nervous that something was wrong. I closed my eyes for a moment and must have drifted off to sleep. When I opened my eyes again, the sun was directly overhead. I checked my watch and it was 11:40 a.m. My phone was lying next to me, so I unlocked it and did not see any missed calls or texts. The cabanas around me were still empty, and so were the chairs by the pool. It was way too quiet without the usual noises of kids splashing and playing in the water. Once again, I walked around and still didn't see anyone at all. Even the bar was empty, where there should have at least been a few customers and the worker. I went into the lobby and no one was behind the check-in desks. There were a couple suitcases behind one of them. When I walked around the rest of the property without still seeing anyone, I was finally certain that something was seriously wrong. I tried calling my wife, but my phone just showed calling on the screen and there was no ringing or any sounds. After a while, the call failed and it went back to the home screen. I opened up my web browser and tried to go on a few sites. Everything took a long time to load and only some sites would work, but most just kept trying to load without anything appearing on the screen. I'm sitting in the cabana now and started taking some videos and pictures of the place to document this. The emails I've sent are all coming back as undeliverable, and I've been unable to communicate with anyone actually at all. The videos have been glitchy, so I'm going to take some more and see if I can post them here later. The pictures I took have been unsettling to look at, to say the least. I'm not sure if I'm seeing things in them or if it's just my imagination. I added them to the end of this list, and I think the links are working for them. I'm not expecting any responses, but this is one of the last places I can think to try, and one of the few sites that are actually working. I've begun hearing strange noises in the distance. I'm so lost on what to do. There are 2 other hotels on this property that are a short walk away. One of them I can see from here, but haven't seen any activity there either. I guess maybe I should walk over there after I post this just in case there is someone else over there. When I come back, I hope to see some responses that help me shed some light on what is happening, or at least show me I am not alone.